We have some of the busiest days, holidays of the year coming up. Yeah.
Yes, I'm aware.
Personally, yes, it is, but go ahead. Keep going.
Can you explain this to us so we'll have a clear understanding of it?
It's on you. So once I get the information, I got a security plan here, so that's gonna go in. And then once he calls me out to see that he, not survey, because he's already got it done, but marks his property lines for where the parking goes, then I'll go out, confirm that, and then I will then email all this information to Tiffany, and then it'll be distributed. And that's on your guys, then I don't know the time frame.
Okay, we're meeting today. Was this information supposed to be completed by today?
Yeah, to have the information to me so I could finish my job for the zoning end of it. He can,
As a body, we don't have to see it.
see what he just handed me, is what you're asking?
We approved this on contingency.
Yes.
You guys have to use your mic because they cannot hear you.
I'm sorry. We approved these on contingencies. And some of the things you say is not done.
No. So this still has to be checked. He just handed it to me a few minutes ago. And I also need the property lines that are the contingency, those two things. And I don't have them now.
And if I might, for the record, for at least 2 meetings back, I believe when the mayor was here, the point was made that, we kind of moved it forward several times, but each time it was the same. And that is that a number of things had to be completed in order to get final approval. And they just haven't been here. They're coming in like this, and there's nothing that we can do about that except to do what we're doing.
Can I speak to this?
Can I speak to this? Any other questions? Okay, we can move on. Can I speak to this? Yes? She would like, state your name.
My name is Joe Bullocks. And so I want to talk about a couple of things that we did. Right, we do have a survey done. We did put a call into the company that performed the survey. So we waiting on them to come out and remarket. So we are on their time as far as that. And even though we got approval, the final is not a timeline to state that loans is completed, loans everything is turned in by the time of our inspection and we want to get things moving, that's when it's due. Correct? The plan is complete. The plan has already been laid out and approved. Correct?
Mr. Henson?
So we asked you at the last meeting to tidy up the last couple of things that were undone so that we could be done with the contingencies at this meeting. So this meeting, you brought the document for Mr. Barton to look at the meeting. So he hasn't had a chance to review it. The soonest that we will hear in anything officially and be able to do anything about any of it will be at the December meeting when he's had a chance to review, write his letter, and submit it to the clerk so the public documents are recorded and discussed then in December. So in the meantime, you mentioned the property line delineation that has to take place. And we understand that everyone's at the mercy of contractors at various times. But again, we had asked that these things be worked on with the staff between meetings. So at this point, there are still the unresolved issues that have to get done before we can remove the contingencies. That doesn't mean that you can't continue to work with the staff and get these things done as soon as possible. But at this point, that's kind of where things lie. And then when it comes to the building department, we're not part of that, so.
Correct. And the last meeting, it was stated that I get with McGinnis to turn in a security plan, not Justin. So now I see he wanted it, so I gave it to him. So that's what I was stating.
Public
I think-
safety,
Public safety.
code compliance, security plan. Who is responsible for that security plan?
McGinnis.
Okay, did you say you gave it to McGinnis?
I talked to McGinnis already. I just gave him a copy. So he got a copy too. So now he
Okay.
can cross off the list. Him and I.
Contingency is still contingency until it's cleared up.
Yeah.
We don't have enough information, you just turned it in today. So I can't say yes or no. I haven't seen this information. So rather than try to stop you with whatever, we'll say next meeting, that everyone would have, 3 weeks to look at it. So in the meanwhile, you're okay to do what we've already approved.
Yes.
So
I
if
just
these
didn't
are
like the point of
two
saying-
outstanding things, then that's all that has to be done.
Mhm.
So we have no other issue here with you today.
Okay, and one other thing that says, I guess, is occupancy complaints. So you're saying that owners can come in and help set up equipment and different things in the building?
I have not seen the complaint, so I can't.
It's right here, it's right there. That's why that's why I came to address it.
What was that again?
And then on the back, it said I got a letter from the attorney, which I never received. They can send it to the mailing address where they normally send things. They sent it to the 456 Fair, which there's no mailbox there. That's not the mailing address, it's the church's the mailing address. So I'm just here to clear up some false statements that's been put out. Letters on the back of the thing.
Yeah, that's why, I apologize.
That's why I'm here to clear this up.
Chairman Reed, if I may ask, before we get to come back to this, I'm trying to be sure that I fully understand. Mr. Bullock mentioned that he's just handing this paper here to Justin, the report of security or what have you, and he was told to talk with McGinnis. Does McGinnis have this prior to? Okay, so McGinnis has had this report that you just handed to, just how long ago?
I talked to him, I talked to him just recently, we talked, but, a while back when that first security
He's had
plan,
that,
when that first security plan got on
okay.
the thing that I had to have,
So
him and
he
I
has
had
had
already
that for a
talked
while.
about it. So I just gave him a paper copy.
Chair,
Now, the last meeting when we were here,
that's been a
this
month,
discussion took place.
that was a month,
And at that time, there was no security plan.
right, and he was directed to get that security plan and get it to the chief of police, which would be McGinnis, and he said that he had did that, and we are just under the assumption that he's just now handing it to Justin. That's what I was, this is just being presented today. But in fact, it's been given to the right person that we had directed you to give it to. Am I right? And am I understanding that?
But I don't understand the point, because until they finish doing it, it doesn't matter. It's
No,
not
I'm just,
done until
I
they do
know,
it.
but I'm just saying, I mean, I'm not finger pointing, it's just that I like to see businesses move. If I'm paying my tax dollars, coming,
Okay, that's one thing at a time.
I'm just trying to take notes, and I don't quite understand the question, so I'm just asking her to clarify.
Okay,
the question.
the question is, Mr. Bullock just handed Justin the security papers that we requested him to get with Mr. McGinnis during our last meeting. That was done prior to today of Justin receiving these papers. And I guess I'm thinking in my mind that we should be clearing this up today. I don't know.
According to Chief McGinnis, he does not have that security plan and has not been in contact with Bullocks for months.
And on this type of thing, it's no different than business in any instance, and that is until something is officially received and acted upon, it still doesn't matter.
And just to be clear, I just, I've been working with so many other organizations and boards and stuff that this is a underserved community. And that in itself just says a lot for businesses of all, including the underserved. It seems to be continually underserved. Maybe I'm just in the wrong place. I don't know.
But it's here. He has it. So we can move on to whatever else he needs to do before lifting the contingency.
And I would,
I just needed
I would
clarity.
say we need to see that from you, as an official document from the city that says it has been reviewed and approved by the public safety director
Mhm.
as required by the zoning ordinance. So that at our next meeting, we'll have all of those, T's crossed, I's dotted, and we'll be done, we hope.
Yes.
I just needed clarity. Yes.
I'm trying to figure out what the problem is. If this document was required, and Mr. Bullock gave it to me, I don't know if it was last week, last month, or last year. But if he had it in his possession, and he didn't come back and talk to Mr. Little, who is his direct supervisor, or he didn't notify the chair that the document is here now, why is that? That's, to me, that's somebody getting paid to do something that they didn't do. So, I don't know what the problem is, but I'm asking the city manager to make sure that his staff fixes those kind of things, because it looks like,
This is the first time we're getting.
well, I'm not gonna say what it looks like, but it don't look good. When residents come here and they say the same thing over and over and over again about residents doing this, so I'm just asking through the chair, Mr. Little, stop his staff from doing that. You had the document.
Is this?
I would like
You
to,
want to say something?
yes, I would like to just say respectfully that one thing we all need to understand is the
Can I have
world
everybody's
doesn't
attention, please?
operate on somebody said. You know, if you get a statement from IRS and you say, I sent it, that doesn't mean anything. They're gonna want to see it.
One person at a time, Mr. Bullock.
Can we let Jason say, because he said it, he looked real informative with his finger up.
Well, I was just,
Come on.
we're trying to figure out when he said it. Because right now, when we talked earlier today also, this is the first time that we've had this. For the new place, we talked, this is the first time that he has sent this.
The
And yes,
commission
it's not-
has none of that. We don't know
This-
what
I
it's
just got
about.
it. This is the first time we've ever gotten this, any of us.
Okay,
Because he
we just got the information, therefore we haven't seen it. We haven't certified that everything is all what it ought to be, or whatever it is we're trying to do here. So at this point,
Next month.
we're not denying that it exists, but we're saying at this point, we can't make a determination because we don't have the necessary information that we need.
Let me ask you this. What determination do you have? Do you have the power to tell me how to run my security plan? That there, I could give it to you. I'm just saying, because if none of the restaurants over here have a security plan, or have, I can do it the way that I see fit to run our business. Correct?
I think that's not correct, because what has to occur, I mean, for it to be a security plan, it has to be approved by the people who are in charge of security, police department.
So Riverview,
And
Restaurants.
that just has to, has to be done and completed. And for the future, I wanna insist that this kind of stuff be put in the mail or brought to the clerk's office where it can be officially signed in. And then we don't have all these question marks about when I gave it to somebody, who I gave it to, and all of that. That's no way to run a business. It's certainly no way to run government.
Can I? Mr. Chairman. Commissioner Bell was next. Commissioner Bell.
Thank you, Chair. I also like to understand the desire to see progress. But I'm looking at this letter and the city attorney pretty much made it clear that it's not permitted until all the contingencies are satisfied, and then we'll have a certificate of occupancy. That's when it's issued. So even though a security plan was still submitted today, which is one of the contingencies, we have not reviewed it. The person who is working for the city has not reviewed it. It's great that he is checking off the list.
Yeah.
That's what we want. We do want to see progress. But, until that happens, just to say, okay, occupied, because I think that's what he's talking about, the letter, you're talking about the occupancy. But just to say occupied, we be going against our own ordinance. And we can't do that as a body. We cannot go against what we say we're going to do. We have to go under who we say is our attorney, and this is our legal advisement to allow occupancy. So it's not really about like holding up business, it's really about making sure that we are consistent. And if we set a precedent here that makes us liable as a city, and we would be setting a precedent that we won't be able to really defend later. So we have to figure out a way to streamline the process so that it's simple. So maybe in the future, if we are saying, based off of what Mr. Little said, these are the things that we need as a part of the contingency, maybe they be turned into the city clerk, not to give her more work, but maybe they be turned into the city clerk so it can be checked off. So when it comes back before us, we can say it was turned in. Now, it has not been reviewed by whichever staff member was supposed to review. That's not necessarily on the owner, but at least we have record of it being turned in, and we don't have to waste 40 minutes on the fence or for occupancy. Just, this is what the list is, and we just check it off, because let's not hold up progress, but us trying to avert progress by roundabout ways does not serve our purpose either as a body.
Totally agree, and that makes all the sense in the world. When we're talking about contingencies and breaking our own protocol, are we talking about the other contingency as well with the fencing? The boundary, the line of the property?
We're applying all contingencies.
All contingencies.
Because
We
we
had
can't
a
wait.
year after opening to have that. We
Right,
can still have the certificate of
okay,
occupancy.
okay,
We gave.
Yeah.
As long as it is marked, which is
Okay.
why.
That makes
we have to mark the spaces
Okay.
where it needs to be.
okay.
So he can still open,
Yeah.
but there will need to be a fence, and that gives them time to bring in revenue to do it. Again, we're not trying to hold up progress, but if there's a list, we have to go by.
And I
it.
mean, it is what it is, and we need to just move forward and just keep our eyes open in the process, which is why we are live streaming now, to let the community know that there's fairness in what's going on, and that's what they come at me with, so I can, don't have to deliver it, they can see for themselves exactly how their city government operates.
Okay, that's. Commissioner Marshall. I just need a little clarity. Mr. Bullock, you said that you did get the chief. I bet.
We got it right here. This what we going with right here. Y'all already got it. I don't wanna waste no more of y'all time or my
Question to
time.
you is, did you give the chief a copy of that information? Because here's my problem. The clerk said you did. I'm trying to find out if you did or didn't.
We got it right here. So this is the one we going with right here. My point was coming to say that we are not open. We have not been open for anything And I just wanted to clear this matter up.
My question is a yes or no question. Did you or did you not? Did you look out for that letter? Before now?
One more question.
Uh,
No,
no, I guess the answer is no.
no, it's about security. I didn't know they were.
The required documents to remove the contingency, we don't have.
Right, right.
Therefore, the planning commission is done with it. I
Okay,
can't make a motion for something that does not exist. So if he brings it to us, or if they notify us at the next meeting that all the contingencies have been met, then we can remove them. And that's what we want to do. I'm looking at the, legal document we received, says no certificate of occupancy, no valid business registration, and occupying a building that has been previously posted as unsafe to occupy. I don't have anything to, for or against this.
I don't either,
So-
Chairman. I just have a question though. And I need to know moving
Strictly-
forward for myself and other residents that I can educate them and possibly help this type of process. Because when it comes to security, I heard the
What is your
gentleman.
specific question you
My
want?
specific question is, I did not know that we had anything to do with security. It's just one of the protocols of a business. I get that. But would cameras a part of surveillance, cameras a part of security? I don't know. I'm just
What the
asking.
issue is here, okay?
And if I just might remind you, we went through some of the same kind of thing. We go through a variety of different businesses. And when we were doing the marijuana businesses, there was effectively a slide in security and all. And every one of them had to be
Yeah.
complied with.
That's why I asked. I helped to work on and put that together, so that's why I asked, because that did play a big, major part in security. No need for a physical for the number of physical with those a different type of business.
Through the city manager, could you please notify him so that he can notify us when these contingencies have been met? You will be, through the clerk, I'm sorry. And we can take the contingencies off, okay? What is my understanding is that you were notified that you were not to conduct business until it's done. And we hear you loud and clear saying that there was no business conducted. So we need to be notified that the contingencies have all been met and we can remove them. Simple as that. There's no other issues as far as before this commission. Any other comments so that we can move on? Okay. Thank you. I believe we're moving on to the update of the zoning ordinance and map. 2 meetings ago, I believe we went over this. That was, the last meeting was, in, August. Have there been any changes or updates since then?
I believe there was an updating on the ordinance itself to eliminate some errors that involve names of other locations and some other. October 17, we received the revision on that. There were still some to be done on the map. I think those corrections, some of them had been done back in August, but we asked them to go back and convert the map to a GIS map, which I believe was done, but not sufficiently, as we didn't have the search capability for entering an address and having it brought up completely. I know both of us talked with them about getting that done, and I just haven't heard anything back recently on it. That's why I sent another email asking him to conclude that and get it to us so we can move on.
Commissioners have any other questions concerning the zoning map update?
And we approve the changes that have been made at this point, so the city commission can review. And we can be closing this process up.
What changes were made? Who requested?
So
The changes here.
here's the document. It's dated August the 12th. It indicates here what the changes are.